Last time on the Black Gate, it was nighty-night time. We got our room at the Wayfarer's Inn in the city of Britain, slept for around 11 hours, woke up in the morning and went back to Castle British to talk to a few more NPCs. We talked to Jeffrey, the captain of the guard, and our old companion from previous Ultima games. Unfortunately, he won't be joining us for this adventure as he's very busy tending to his duties at the castle. We then talked to Chuckles, the jester. Unfortunately, we had to play his game. We don't have to, but he gives us a very big clue as to where to go if we finish the game. Basically, the rule is to use only one syllable word. He'll give you a scroll, and it told us to go meet Margareta the Gypsy over at Minoc. We also talked to Nistel, the court magician, before we left Castle British, and without a shadow of a doubt, he was definitely a little bit kooky. We were told that mages in Britannia have been going a little insane due to the magic being disrupted in the ether. We also took the opportunity in the city of Britain to talk to Batlin, the Fellowship branch leader. We conversed mostly about the Fellowship, a little bit about the virtues, and he told us that the high-ranking members of the Fellowship, Elizabeth and Abraham, were off to Minoc, which is where we're going to go in this part probably. We also, before we left Britain to go to Vesper to get our ship that we got from Lord British, the Golden Ankh, we talked to Clint the shipwright. He told us that there was no such ship called the Crown Jewel that docked into port at any time, anywhere. Once we finally leave Britain behind, I took a Moongate to deliver us to Minoc, or rather, near Minoc. I wanted to bypass the swamps and make the journey to Vesper a little bit easier. I also took the opportunity to hunt some deer because we were running low on food, and then we journeyed through the desert all the way to Vesper, near the tavern, and behind the tavern was our ship. The ship is a very helpful vessel, it even has a cargo hold that can hold our cargo. I took the ship to the city of Trinsic, went over to Spark's house and grabbed a couple of chests. I also went over to Dell and bought a backpack for Yana. And the part basically ended with me organizing the cargo hold under the ship and getting things ready for our further adventures into Britannia. Oh, and I also bought Spark's parrot with us, and he'll be joining us on our journey across the world, mostly. I think Squawks is a fine name for a parrot. I also completely forgot to mention that we did talk to Santre before having the Avatar turn in for the night. Unfortunately, we didn't bring him along. He's an old companion of the Avatar, as he prefers smaller groups. There is a little trick if you want him in your party. Recruit him while your party is still small, and then recruit everyone else afterwards. So, alright, welcome back to some more Ultima VII The Black Gate, guys. We got our parrot here, and yes, and his name would be Squawks. I think it's a good name for a bird. I'm not quite done here yet, though. We got our chests. We got nothing in there. Got that there. We got that there. I need to grab these. So I'm going to go back into Trinsic. We're going to grab some more crates, and then I want to go to Pause, and hopefully that old lady will be in that shop, and I will go ahead and buy that sextant from her. And then we can go to Minoc. So this isn't stealing because Christopher is dead, and I'm sure Spark... This is technically his smithy now. I guess... I don't know. We didn't read Christopher's will. I don't think he had one. Let's put all that stuff we don't need in here. We don't need these torches or candles or anything, because we got the fire sword. We can use the fire sword to illuminate our path wherever we go. He's got a lot of stuff in here. Stuff gets really easily... You see how things can get really cluttered? It's a little annoying. Don't need the sword, I don't think. Do I need that sword? Also, yeah, last part. We gave Yana the sling, but the sling is not better than the hawk. I guess I'll give her the sword, why not? Put this over here. I'm not going to organize... When I play this on my own, I organize the bejesus out of my inventory. What is this here? That's a light source. I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click this. Ring of invisibility. I'm not gonna... I don't really use rings in this game, because if you use rings, that means you have to unequip your gloves to use them. You can't wear rings underneath your gloves. It's not like a Skyrim, though. In Skyrim, it's... Your rings are over your gloves, like a Sauron, I believe. What's this here? Ring protection. I will not use that, and Dupre can hold all the alcohol, because he's the alcohol guy. Do I have anything for Yana? You know what? I'm going to take all this out. Because she doesn't carry a whole lot. My companions don't really carry a whole lot. Usually the Avatar carries a lot of things. I'm gonna give this bag to YOLO, and he can hold the keys in here. Because I need a key bag. This is where I'll hold all the keys. What the deuce? What happened? There we go. Okay. I was like, what happened to that ring key? What happens is that if you do that, it goes right here. If you only have one, this is an Excel thing. One thing in your inventory, in your bag, whatever, you can do this. It just goes into that first spot. It wasn't like that in previous versions of Excel. I think the snapshot doesn't do that. This version has a lot of updates. Okay, I think we're good. We got a bucket. I don't think we need a bucket. Avatar has everything he has there. Reagents here, like 10 of each. Fire sword, money. Spark has the Hoe of Destruction and just a sleeping bag. Shano's the food guy. We found a lot of food in the ship the other day. And I think we are ready to go to the thing. Alright, we're back at our ship. I also took some crates. 2 of them. I gotta drag this one. What's that sound again? I think 2 ought to do it. Put one there, and we'll put one here. And this crate will be for our weapons and stuff, and maybe some ammunition. There we go. And these 2 crates are empty. Don't know what I'm gonna put in those, but it's a ship. You want a mix of chests, barrels, and crates. Go ahead and lock that one, because we got stuff in there. And there we go. Also, this is a sundial here. Double click on that. It says 1 o'clock, which means it should be... That lady should be at the shop. So let's go to pause. Why is that blocked? That would have been bad. Imagine doing all of that and not being able to leave port. Alright, onwards, finally. That took like 6 minutes already? Me organizing my inventory and grabbing stuff. I decided not to skip portions like that because that's kind of part of the game. Moving stuff in your inventory around. I'm sure you don't mind. Oh, we got a sea creature. That is a tentacle thingy. I don't want to fight that right now because I'm feeling rather lazy and this is like the wrong way to go. I also like how there's chair seats on the ship. Like, the game's immersive despite that. That's how strong this game is. But this is pause right here. And what is that? Enemies? Sounds like the Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th music. Also, I gotta re-equip Dupre with his 2-hander. Alright, that shop should be... It's not it. Is it? Yeah, this is it. This is the tavern. I could use a drink. Not right now, Dupre. You got like a dozen drinks almost. I hope that music stops. Here we are. Let's go ahead and save and talk to this old lady. You see an old woman who gives you a smile of grandmotherly sweetness. You can see immediately that her vision is poor. Did we already talk to her? My name is Beverly. Job. Why I run the House of Items here in Pause. What can you tell me about Pause? Here in Pause, the people have very little money, but it matters not because they care for each other. There's a shop that sells antiques and previously used items. Yeah, it stopped. Never mind, it's gonna keep going. Running this shop allows me to remain youthful and active. It is heartening to sell things to the poor people of this town that they might not otherwise be able to afford. Well, let's buy something. There are many rare and fine things to be bought here in my shop. Bargains to be had nowhere else in all of Britannia, that is true. Many fine things. Let me see. There's a cradle for sale, we don't need that. A rocking horse, a bell, an hourglass, a spittoon, a lute, and a sextant. Since I am moving a bit more slowly these days, I let my customers help themselves and take what they have bought. Providing they pay me first, of course. I do trust folks to pay me the correct amount. I'm nearly blind, I'm afraid. Alright, I guess that music's just gonna keep playing. Darn it. Let's ask her about the sextant. I have a sextant that was sold by the world-famous shipwright Owen of Minoc. They're going to be building a monument to him, I understand. Anyway, the sailor who sold it to me had just suffered some harrowing experience out on the waters. He said when he sold it to me that he was going to retire. Alright, so I'm talking about the combat music that's playing, but I just realized I can totally just remove it out of the recording software. So if you hear me speak of it up to this point, that's because I'm hearing it, but you're not going to, because I'll be editing it out. It's annoying me when I'm trying to read this. It's not fitting with the theme. He obviously did not realize the value of this item. I can let thee have it for 20 gold pieces. Dost thou wish to buy it? That's a bargain. Remember that sextant back in Trinsic with Gargan, the shipwright? Well, if you come here first, you can get one for a good 20 gold pieces. I mean, gold is easy to come by, but it's nice to save some money. I'll take it. Thou mayest take thy sextant, and may thou always have smooth sailing. And now with that sextant, we can know where we're going all across the world, so long as we're outside of the building. Let's ask her about the loot. I have a loot for sale that once belonged to a traveling bard who lost it in a game of dice. I'm asking 20 gold coins for it, a song. Wouldst thou like to buy it? Yes, because for some reason Bard, YOLO, is a bard, and he doesn't have a lute. What kind of bard doesn't carry a lute everywhere? I thank thee, kind customer. Thou mayest take thy lute. I can see that thou art a true artisan with an appreciation for quality. Also, the avatar can play the lute too. He knows how to do things. What about that hourglass there? I also have an antique hourglass. It was sold to me by this old man who was so daft that he could not recall how to use it. That's quite a thing. He was probably a mage, wasn't he? The mages are going crazy in this world. I will sell it to thee for 5 gold pieces. Dost thou wish to buy it? Sure, I'll take it. Thou mayest take thy glass. I thank thee. What's this cradle? We're not going to buy these 3 things, but I'm going to ask about them. That old cradle was the cradle used to rock Gorn the Barbarian to sleep at night when he was just a baby. Gorn? Gorn from Gothic? No, Gorn from Ultima. He's actually a character in this game, this world. Thou can't see that there is a crack in its side, proving that even as a child, Gorn was a strong little tyke. I can let thee take it for 10 gold coins. I do not want to buy that cradle. A sour look flashes across Beverley's face. Very well, perhaps I may interest thee in something else. About this rocking horse. This is the rocking horse that once belonged to a little girl from Britain named Diane. She grew to be one of the finest equestrians to ever sit upon a horse. I could let thee have this rare and unusual piece for 12 gold. Dost thou wish to buy it? Nah. Beverley rolls her eyes. In a browsing mood today, are we? Take thy time. Oh my god. Okay. What about this bell? That bell came from the High Court of Justice in you. It was rung to announce that court was in session. I can sell thee that interesting conversation piece for 6 gold coins. Does thou wish to buy it? No. Not in the mood for a bell today? She wrinkles her lips in the best attempt at a smile. Perhaps something else will strike thy fancy. Okay, about the spittoon. I also have an old spittoon. It was once used by a great many people. Thou mayst have it for a gold piece. Take it, please. Sure. I thank thee. Now canst go, and please do not forget to take it with thee when thou dost leave. I will not. I usually don't buy that, but let's just go ahead and take it. We'll have Spark carry all that. There you go. We also bought the sextant, we bought the hourglass, and the loot. That's it, right? We got the... She didn't talk about this. I guess that's not an item for sale. We talked about that, and that's it. Go. So that right there, that blind character, if you played Ultima 4, in Ultima 4, when you bought reagents, I think just reagents, the merchants, every merchant who sells reagents is blind. And you had to be honest, give them the right amount of gold pieces in order to raise your honesty virtue. You could lie and buy like 100 reagents of, let's say, blood moss or something, or ginseng, and only pay them like 1 gold coin when they're asking for a lot more than that. Let's go in here. Because on my end, finally that music stopped. That was not really fitting music, but yeah, that's basically kind of a reference, but you can't cheat Beverley, even though I kind of wanted to, because she gets rather rude if you don't buy literally everything in there. I mean, she got quite a bit of money for me for someone who lives in Pause. We got that sextant now. I will give that to the avatar. Put it right there, nice and neat. And YOLO can have the loot. And YOLO, why aren't you carrying a loot? You're a bard. Did you forget it back at your house? Double click on that. There's a nice little piece of music. That spittoon I just bought just because I felt like it. If you double click on it, Patooey. It does that. That would be like a little souvenir. And the hourglass is actually, well, it's kind of an important item. There's that music again. And now it's really foggy. Let's put all this stuff away. You can hear how we'll put the hourglass. We kind of don't really need it right now. I'm also going to put this, not in there. I'll put this actually, oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and open this up again. I'll just put this in here. I don't think anyone's going to steal from that. Do I have anything else? If you open up the map, it's this is a bad example because of the darn fog. This is where we're at though. Once you're outside, you can look, you can know where you are as long as you're outside of the building. But I think next I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna dock in Britain. Just up here a little bit. And I think we're gonna venture onwards towards Minoc. I'm just gonna take the Moongate, because it's faster. I'm not gonna take a ship to Minoc. Here we are. Clint the Shipwright's place. Get right there. And we're at the point right now where we can do whatever we want. But I decided I'm going to go to Minoc and see what's going on over there. And I think in this part, if we have enough time, it's been 15 minutes already. Let's try to spend some training points. We got 6 for the Avatar. Yolo's got some. Spark's still level 3, of course. Shamnos 3, 3, and 3. Alright, let's go to the Moongate. Alright, step in. Hopefully we'll arrive. There's that sound again. Guess we'll be hearing that throughout the game. Alright. That's where Jellum is. There's our marker there, our little cross. This is you, right here. If I won't get hurt too bad. Though Yana can heal us, and here we are. This is the Minoc Moongate. And I forgot to mention about the Moongates. In Ultima VII, they are always up and available. It wasn't like that in previous Ultima games, at least in 4, 5, and I think 6 as well. I can't remember about 6, but in 4, they only pop up during, depending on the positions of the 2 moons of Britannia. There's 2 moons. There's Tremel and Feluca, or Felucia, whatever you pronounce. So depending on the time of day and think the position of the moons, a Moongate will sprout up in a certain spot, and then you can enter it and it goes to a specific place, town nearby. But in Ultima VII, they made it a little bit easier to where you can just go ahead and use it, though. Oh, this is someone's house. I'm not going to talk to anybody in there or loot anything, which is welcome. I actually rather like that. The Moongates were annoying in the older Ultima games. But this is where Minoc is, and every time you get lost, just press the M key. See, we're right here already. See what's going on. We gotta talk to the Gypsy as well. I'm gonna do that last. They're right here, by the way. These characters were very important. Are we there yet? Yes, Spark, we're here. This is Minoc. We'll talk to them, later. We're gonna go over here, or rather, let's just talk to someone. Let's talk to this guy. You see a swarthy gypsy with soulful eyes dressed in colorful clothes. He looks as if he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. What's your name? I am Jergi, pleased to make thine acquaintance. What's your job? I'm the king of the gypsies. Gypsies. My people have almost completely died out in this world. Now that I am their leader, I am making their welfare my sole responsibility. Soon I will decide if we will leave Minoc. I don't know if I should, like, voice act that out or something. I'll do whatever I want. Died out. So not only the virtues are dying out, the gypsies are also dying out. The gypsy, because like in previous Ultima games, you created your character talking to the gypsy lady. She'll give you questions on each virtue. However you answer, like let's say you favor honor, you'll be a paladin. If you favor the valor virtue, you choose questions where you're valorous, you're going to be a fighter. We gypsies are a people who live to wander, but there are fewer and fewer places where we are welcome. We are victimized by the ancient hatred that plagued our kind since the days of ancient Caesarea. You can tell about Minoc. Our people came here because we thought we would be accepted. It seemed for a very long time that we were here. We were, excuse me. But after these savage murders, it looks like it is time for us to roam once again. Murders? Federico is mine only brother, and no one loved Tanya more than I did, save for Federico himself. What happened to them was unspeakable. I wish I could tell thee more. If thou wishest, thou mayst speak to Sasha, but only briefly. Now is the time for him to mourn. Looks like there was a murder here in Minoc, and we were too late to stop it. Well, tell me about, accepted, I guess. We have always been subject to the prejudices of others. We are called thieves in verse, but we are a people that only wish to play our music, and dance, and live in peace. I thought the people here understood this. What can you tell me about Federico? Some thought of my brother Federico as a harsh man, but those of us who knew him could see that he was simply governed by the same prides and passions that rule all gypsies. Sasha. He is the son of Federico and Tanya. He left us to learn more about the fellowship. Of course, he feels responsible for what happened. Responsible for what? We do not blame Sasha for what happened. We will not punish him. Okay, what about Tanya? She was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. Both my brother and I were in love with her. We both tried to win her heart. I failed and thought that I would spend the rest of my life with no one. It was not until last year that my wife... it's actually kind of hard for me to do. Margareta and I were married and my secretly broken heart was mended. What do you know about the fellowship? Sasha will have to decide if he wants to stay with his people or return to the fellowship. I believe he will make the right choice. Okay, Margareta was the lady we had to meet from Chuckle's scroll. My vice is a wise woman who has some of the necessary talents to see the future. Thou should speak with her. Bye. Mayest thou have much fortune in thy endeavors. Okay, let's... This must be her. Can I sit down? There we go. Let's talk to her. You see a young, bewitching gypsy woman with wise, soul-peering eyes. Her eyes are black. I can see her eyes. It's got the crystal ball there. Name? Margareta, at thy service, she speaks slowly. And I do not speak slowly, by the way. I speak quickly. The gypsy woman smiles slightly. To tell thy destiny. What is my destiny? The fortune will cost thee 20 gold. Alright, sure. Margareta takes your money. The gypsy woman peers into her crystal ball. I see a woman standing by a shrine. She will play an important role in thy life. The crystal ball is very murky. I see that thou must join the fellowship if thou wantest to learn more about them and discover their true nature. Okay. It is not very clear. Yes, there is a new evil that threatens Britannia. You mean the Guardian, right? He poked through my computer monitor and started saying some stuff like, "You're gonna serve me forever, Avatar," or whatever. I see that thou shalt have to reckon with it in the future. I hope not. He sounds very powerful. Like I'm just a human. He seems like an all-knowing god or whatever. The crystal ball tells me that the other ether of the world, the substance that controls magic, has been affected by this new evil presence. I see further that this evil presence will gain greater powers during an event in the near future. This event has something to do with the planets. Seek out a man at the observatory in Moonglow to learn more about this. I see that he has a device which will be very useful to thee. See him soon, for this event is drawing near. What is this? I see. Thou dost seek a man with a hook. He is not thy true adversary, but finding him will be necessary to complete thine ultimate quest. I hope so. Spark has to get his revenge for his father. Wait, I see that thou must seek an audience with the Time Lord. He is in trouble, although I cannot see what that trouble is. The Time Lord knows much about this new evil, so do not fail to seek him out. To find the Time Lord, thou must first meet the Wisp who live in the forest of Yew. They are thy best link to him. The monks of Empath Abbey may know how to contact the Wisp. The ball has grown dark, I see no more. Margareta looks up at you and says, "Thou dost face many dangers ahead, take care." With those words, Margareta slumps and closes her eyes to rest. She is obviously exhausted. Farewell, go in peace. Enjoy your nappy poo. Let's go in here. The gypsy wagon. There's one more gypsy I gotta talk to right here. This gentleman. He's wearing the fellowship medallion. This must be Sasha. You see a young gypsy lad. He is wearing a fellowship medallion. His eyes look down and his expression is one of extreme sorrow. Who are you? My name is Sasha. Job? I'm too young to have a job. I am a gypsy, as my parents were gypsies. I am also a member of the fellowship. You are you? The fellowship is the philosophical group blah blah la di da. For the past week, I've been away from home doing work for the fellowship. He just says the same thing here in regards to philosophy. No, I do not want to join. What can you tell me about your parents? My parents, Federico and Tanya, were murdered. I do not know why anyone would want to harm them. The words choke out of the boy. Suddenly, he is overwhelmed by grief and is unable to speak further. Well, that's it. What can you tell me about the gypsies? I've returned to be with Margareta and Jergy to grieve for my parents. They did not approve of my joining the fellowship, but I know that they are concerned out of their love for me, just as I loved them. What can you tell me about Jergy? He was my father's brother. He's a good man and wise. Now he is the leader of our people. He will do what is right for us. We met Margareta, but tell us about her. She is very wise and knows many things, but when I asked her if I should go back to the fellowship or stay with them, she did not answer me. She was probably just very, very tired. Well, let's ask him about the murders. He probably doesn't have too much to say. It happened at the sawmill in Minoc. Oh, that's important. That's all he has to say, yeah. That's it. Okay, bye. The lad stoically nods and turns away. Well, let's head off towards the sawmill. We don't know where it is on the map. We got some people here just hanging about. Let's talk to this lady. You see a stealthy-looking woman dressed all in green. That's not very stealthy, wearing all green, unless you're in a forest, but okay. Stealthy as in she's got a stealthy maneuver. I know. There is a wicked grin on her face. Name? Answer to Karena and to nothing else. Job? An odd question to ask at such a time as this, my lord. Dost thou know that 2 people lie dead in that sawmill and they are dead from the hand of a perpetrator? Or perpetrators unknown? What can you tell me about those murders? Shocking! Such things do not normally happen here. It well proves the value of knowing how to defend oneself. Well, if the assailants are who I think they are, I don't think the most basic of training can defend themselves against such a person. Farewell, may all thy journeys be interesting ones. I hope so. You see a stern but friendly-looking man dressed in a military fashion. As you watch him, you get the feeling he is sizing you up as well. Name? I'm Jacker, named after a great general from the ancient times of Caesarea. Welcome to Minoc. I actually can't even remember if there was a character named that in the older Ultima games. Minoc? Ours is a city of commerce, although lately its primary trade seems to be gossip and envy. Before these murders, the latest local scandal had been the statue to be built of Owen, the shipwright. Job? Along with Karena, I am a trainer in the fighting arts. And unlike Karena, he's okay telling us his job even though there's a murder nearby. I'm going to talk to him fully, then I'm going to go straight to the sawmill and see what's going on over there. My specialty is strength and strategy. On the field of battle, if one does not use his head while using one's muscles, he's in danger of losing it. What can you tell about Karena? A skillful and fierce battler, but a bit short-sighted when it comes to tactics, I'm afraid. Still, a woman as attractive as she is diverting enough when encountered, but do not mention to her that I said that. It would just encourage her. It is uncomfortable enough sharing the same roof with her as it is. What art thou whispering about over there? Nothing at all. Jacker winks at you. Short-sighted? She is the sort of person who labors under the belief that all problems can be solved in one of 3 ways. Hit them harder, hit them faster, or hit them some more. Art thou talking about me? I feel mine ears burning. Thou art dreaming, Karena. Why would I talk about thee? He giggles conspiratorially at you. Roof? There used to be 2 training halls in Minoc, but one of them burned down after being struck by lightning. Now we are both forced to share this one. Is what he would say if we talked to him at the training hall. Owen? I've known Owen as long as anyone in this town. Several years ago, 3 ships that he built sank. The brother of Carl, one of our more colorful local residents, was killed. No investigation was ever made into the cause of the sinkings, but Owen once confided to me that he secretly blamed himself. He started drinking heavily and eventually took up with the Fellowship. A little bit of a side quest here involving Owen, by the way. It's a pretty good side quest. We're going to do it, probably not in this part, but eventually in the future. Trainer? I'm not in the habit of running training session at this particular time. What can you tell me about the murders then? I suspect the killer, or killers, are from out of town. Probably long gone by now. There has not been a local murder for some time before today. Our fair measure of prosperity has made the people here mostly tolerant of each other. That is why the gypsies settled here. The apparent lack of motive is puzzling. We talked to the gypsies. What can you tell me about them? Thou wouldst do better to ask Karena. She is a good friend of the gypsies and would know more about them than I. Gone? I doubt that anyone in our community is the killer. If the stranger or strangers involved were to remain for long after the crime, they would soon be revealed. Therefore, the killers are no longer in town. That seems like a logical conclusion. It has been a pleasure speaking with thee. Let's go ahead and save. Let's see what's going on over here. Across the bridge. Got some more people here. Can we just go ahead and talk to them about the murders? I probably will. Not going to talk to every single one of them, but this guy. See, a handsome craftsman with an intense, piercing gaze. Name? My name is Gladstone, my lord. At thy service. Job? I'm a glass blower and a sculptor. I make mostly balls and bowls. But in my time, I have constructed all manners of statuary out of glass as well. Minoc. There is active commerce here in Minoc sufficient to keep the Artists Guild financially solvent. But in recent weeks, I have come to fear we may not keep it going for very much longer. Unlike the Fellowship or Owen's monument, we do not have much political power. Now other events make our troubles seem less important. What sort of events? Surely thou hast heard about the murders of Federico and Tania? We have. Can you tell me anything about them? I shudder to think such foul deeds are so freely committed in our fair town. Art thou investigating it? I wish thee all success in tracking the culprit. I barely knew Federico or Tania, but I did meet their son Sasha once. I guess we'll talk to him fully too. I think we kind of have to. All these people. He befriended Sierra and stayed at the night with us once. He seemed like a nice young man, but misguided. Tell me about the Fellowship. We do not get along very well with those people. I believe we have been unofficially marked as enemies of the Fellowship ever since all the members of the Artists Guild refused Eleanor's invitation to join. They dislike us because they consider us to be indisposed towards unity. Power? The Artists Guild is taxed mercilessly by the Britannian Tax Council. Even in our best year, it is a struggle to make ends meet. It seems they were not considered important enough to be given an even chance. Another thing that's gone by the wayside in this game, Britannia, Ultima VII. Monuments. Owen the shipwright is commissioning a statue of himself to be built in the center of town. The Artists Guild decided to have nothing to do with his foolishness, of course. But just the word of the statue has spread, and now orders are coming in from all over Britannia. Merchants want to have a ship built by the famous Owen, Master Shipwright of Minoc, Statue? I fear we have grievously miscalculated by thinking that if we boycotted the statue, it would not be built. It seems all the talk of it has made Owen to some sort of bizarre legend around this area, and the bloody statue hasn't even gone up yet. But that, I fear, is not the worst of the situation. What is the worst? Once the statue is built, orders for shipbuilding are bound to increase even more. It won't take long before all local commerce will become affected by it. Owen will be purchasing more of the local resources, which will cause prices to rise, especially at the sawmill, and that will surely force the Artists Guild into bankruptcy. Artists Guild? The Artists Guild is a group of local craftsmen we sell our wares here. Is a group of local craftsmen. We sell our wares here in Minoc, that's better. While we are organized as a guild of equal members, I am tentatively the guild head. He's a glass blower, so I regret that I do not have any of my work for sale at present. Like our other artists, I have a backlog of orders that will keep me busy for the foreseeable future. But there are several examples of my work, of which I am most proud, in the guild hall on display. If they are interested, go look at them. Bye. Good journey, my friend. Okay, let's talk to this lady here. And this lady is someone we actually already know if you played Ultima games. This is Julia, an old companion of the Avatar from previous games. A member of your party... I literally just said that. I didn't even read that and then said that. I forgot what this said is what I meant. You see Julia, a member of your party of adventurers from one of your previous visits to Britannia. Not gonna ask her name, of course, because we already know her. She also looks vastly different from the previous game. If you played Ultima VI, she actually looks rather wild in the 6th game. So what have you been up to? Since accompanying thee on thine adventures when thou was last in Britannia, I have become the Tinker of Minoc. I repair things for the people of the town, but my duties and obligations are not so pressing as to prevent me from joining thee again, shouldst thou wish it. After all, when thou art in Britannia, thou hast usually come to repair very important things and help put the world to rights. We're not going to bring her along because I like to have just 6 party members, but we can if we want to. Hey, meet Spark. I just recruited him back intrinsic. Who is this fine young lad? My name is Spark, milady. He is a cute one, and so well-mannered. Spark turns beet red. He is rather embarrassed. Tinker. It is not really what I wish to do with the rest of my life. I do not have the patience to be a proper tinkerer. If thou didst ask me, I would say I have sacrificed enough. Minoc is the city of sacrifice, by the way. And she represents that virtue, being a tinker. That's actually a class in Ultima, Tinker. Minoc. It is a terrible thing to be happening in our town, these murders. Minoc was once a safe and quiet place. Murders. Federico and Tanya were killed at the Minoc sawmill in a manner most gruesome. Gruesome, you say? The manner in which Federico and Tanya were murdered suggests a ritual killing. From what I have been hearing, it is similar to one that has run across Intrinsic, and one that occurred in Britain a while ago. It is a most puzzling mystery. It's a mystery that we're trying to solve. It's too bad we were too late. What can you tell me about Federico and Tanya? Federico was leader of the Gypsies, and Tanya was his wife. They lived outside of town. I know nothing more about them. Safe and quiet? I guess no longer. Well, at least safe, not necessarily quiet, especially with all the commotion caused by Owen and his monument. Monuments. The Fellowship wanted to build a statue of Owen. That way they can use him as an example of the success of the Fellowship philosophy. It would also increase Owen's business to the point of upsetting the local economy and driving the Artists Guild out of business. Tell me about Owen, I guess. Owen is our local shipwright. Frankly, I think he is something of a fool. Fair enough then. Okay, bye. Goodbye, Ruben. Save again and talk to this gentleman here. You see a handsome, creative-looking young man. Name? I'm called Sierra, my lord. A pleasure to meet thee. What is your job? I'm a member of our local Artists Guild here in Minoc. What can you tell me about Minoc? Until the monument was to be built and now these murders, I believe this town to be a good place to live. What can you tell me about the murders? It is horrible. Federico and Tanya were looking for their son Sasha. He had run away to join the Fellowship. How could this have happened to them? Sierra slowly shakes his head. We met Sasha. I met him a few weeks ago when he came to town looking for the local Fellowship branch. I once let him stay the night at the guild hall. He said his father would beat him if he knew he was thinking of joining the Fellowship, and I believed him. Sasha's father could be a cruel man. He's basically a good lad, just looking for the truth like a lot of us are. Unfortunately, he is looking in the wrong place. What can you tell him about the Fellowship? The Fellowship is a society of... all those things. I'm not going to read all that. We already read those, but not this. No, I am not a member or anything like that, but I've heard the basic speech from Sasha so many times that I have it memorized. I never try to dissuade him from joining the Fellowship, even though I have no belief in it. I think Sasha is old enough to start making his decisions for himself. Now, I truly regret not sending him home the moment I saw him. You tell me about the Gypsies. We talked to them earlier. Their camp is just outside of town. There are not too many of them left. I understand that Sasha's aunt, Margareta, is an amazing fortune-teller. For a few gold coins, she can tell thee many things that may be very useful to thee. I think more than a few. I think it was like 20, right? Monuments. That shipwright Owen is a self-righteous fool. His statue will be nothing more than a monument to all the hurtful, bad feelings he has caused in this town. I cannot believe that such a meaningless and obvious charade could jeopardize our guild's future. Future? Thou hadst best ask Gladstone about that. Artist Guild. Yes, we have an artist guild here in Minoc. I am a member. The other members are Xanthia and Gladstone. We met Gladstone. Thou canst purchase some of the finest crafts available anywhere in Britannia there. I, for example, make clocks. Almost said cloaks. Clocks. I make all types of clocks and watches that tell the time reliably to the second. I'd be happy to sell thee one, but right now I have a 2-year backlog to fill. Oh, wow. Okay. Gladstone is a sculptor and a glass blower. He is also in charge of most of the business decisions for the guild. What about Xanthia? Xanthia is a very talented young woman. She makes very elaborate and distinctive candelabras. Goodbye. A pleasant day to thee, my lord. Do come see us again. A lot more people here, my goodness. Let's see what she has to say. You see a woman whose cultured manner is tinged with a suggestion of arrogance. What's your name? She straightens her shoulders and looks you in the eye. I am Eleanor. What's your job? I'm the head counselor of the Fellowship branch here in Minoc. We are a society of spiritual seekers. Yes, you are, dedicated to achieving our highest potential, advancing worthiness, unity, and trust in our brothers. Perhaps thou wish to join. Not right now. I can see by the look in thine eyes that thou dost lack the courage to take this vital step in thy life. Perhaps one day, soon thou shalt be ready. She looks down her nose at you. We shall see. Oh, great. These Fellowship people, I just want to punch in the face. I don't like them. I don't like any of them. Well, tell me about the Fellowship. The Fellowship is highly regarded in Minoc. Why, even the mayor himself is a member. I brought him into the Fellowship myself. He was the first new member of our local branch. Gregor, the head of the Fellowship here, directs the Britannia Mining Company. Many Fellowship members pass through Minoc. Minoc. We should strive to put this business of the murders behind us. Minoc will soon be known throughout Britannia as a city where majestic ships are built. There is even going to be a statue erected in the center of town honoring our shipwright, Owen. He's a skilled and valued member of our community, and, of course, a Fellowship member. Tell me about him, I guess. He's a classic example of the Fellowship making a vast difference in a person's life. Before he joined the Fellowship, he was without confidence and ready to put aside his trade. Now he stands on the verge of being recognized as the finest at his craft in the world. This showed up again. Did we already click that? Yes, we did. Murders. I am saddened at the loss of life, but cannot say I am surprised. Frederico and Tanya were antagonistic people. The same may be said of most gypsies. I have nothing against them personally, of course. Antagonistic? How are they antagonistic? Frederico and Tanya treated all members of our Fellowship as if we were diseased. Frederico particularly would often bully our members. Thou dost know it is common knowledge that we are pacifists. He had a reputation for cruelty, even amongst his own people. It is not surprising he came to a violent end. It's a lot of talking, isn't it? Got like 17 minutes left. Alright, I took a little break to drink some water. Okay, we'll choose, gypsies. They have set up camp in the southeast of town, near the sawmill. That is suspicious, dost thou not think? No, not really. Crown Jewel. Many ships come and go in our busy port. I do not know of any one specific ship. Perhaps thou shouldst ask Owen. We will. I think we'll be in Minoc for a little while. Ask her about Hook. Know the Hook? I am certain I would remember having seen anyone like that, and I am positive that does not match the description of any Fellowship member this branch has ever come in contact with. What about EA? Thou hast just missed them. They were here collecting funds. They have moved on to pause and visit our shelter there. And that's it. I have a feeling that we shall see each other once again. We will. So, Elizabeth and Abraham arrived here. Pause the game a little bit while I talk. A little suspicious that a murder happened here, and then they left. Could be a coincidence. Maybe they're just here because there's Fellowship branches all over Britannia. Let's talk to this guy. He looks like the mayor. You see an elderly man struggling to maintain a regal posture. His eyes widen at the sight of you. I had heard thou were traveling in Britannia again, but it took mine own eyes to believe it. Welcome, Avatar. What's your name? Burnside is my name. And what's your job? I am Mayor of Minoc and have been low these past 20 years and more. What can you tell me about this city? What changed since I left? Apart from this business of the murders, we are a town run by commerce. Gold runs this town. As goes the money, so goes Minoc. Take this monument affair, for instance. We'll ask you about that in a few seconds. Tell me about the murders. As Frederico and Tanya were not actually residents of Minoc, there is little I can do as mayor other than increase the town guard. I haven't seen any guards. The investigation falls somewhat beyond my jurisdiction. It would appear the killer, or killers, were from out of town, and are probably long gone by now. Thank goodness. What about the monument? I am sure thou art aware of the plans for a monument of Owen, the shipwright. He is paying for it himself. Not very humble of him, is he? I am usually against such public vanity, but the fellowship is very much in favor of it. Well, he seems like a good person. Vanity. But in this special case, it does immeasurable good for the town. I stand corrected. It increases our prestige. Perhaps people will come from all over Britannia for the unveiling. Unveiling? Why, even Lord British himself will be in attendance. Wow, he's actually going to leave the castle? Amazing. It is a special opportunity when one gets a private audience. You know, that's the thing, because in Ultima V, Lord British was kidnapped, disappeared, missing, and you rescued him in that game. Ultima VI, he's basically in the castle throughout the entire game until the ending slide of the game. And a bit of a spoiler, he doesn't really move around in this game that much. And he doesn't move around in Underworld 2 as much either, though that's to be expected because everyone's trapped in Castle British in that game. Fellowship. Yes, I wear the fellowship medallion given to me by Eleanor. Do not worry thyself, I shall not try to make thee join. He laughs nervously at his own little joke. What can you tell about Eleanor? She's a mean lady. Eleanor says the fellowship could bring much money into Minoc. It would be wonderful for trade. I could never let my personal feelings get in the way of the good of this town. Feelings? Avatar, may I tell thee a secret? Could say no. Yeah, you can tell me a secret. You can tell me anything. Avatar, I must confess to thee that I feel the fellowship promotes a philosophy that is dubious at best, and its membership seem to be comprised chiefly of fools and emotional weaklings. Well, he is a good guy. Bye. A pleasure, friend Avatar, a pleasure. Wow, those are some dead dudes. One dude, one dudette, killed in much the same manner as Christopher. This candle has been doused, though, because these NPCs are messing with the crime scene. Stop doing that. This is evidence. Go away. A big piece of evidence, though, is this dagger. A serpentine dagger. Left behind by the killer? That's a big clue. We're going to take that right here. It's not considered stealing. Also, a bucket of blood. Their limbs cut off one by one. Very, very nasty. Frederico and Tanya, rest in peace. Well, let's talk to... What are these guys doing in here anyways? Let's talk to this guy. I think this is the last guy we have to talk to. You see an old man whose domineering disposition matches the hardened physique of his aged body. Name? My name is Gregor. Job? I'm in charge of the Minoc branch of the Britannian Mining Company. What can you tell me about that? The Britannian Mining Company produces a wide variety of minerals that are essential to the continuation of progress in Britannia. What about Minoc? Our town is a major center of trade in Britannia, and is a place of social change. Social change? Here in Minoc, we are erecting a monument to our good shipwright Owen, a master craftsman whose name will soon be known throughout Britannia. We also have a very active fellowship branch. Choose that last, I guess. I helped to organize things with Mayor Burnside to get the monument built. It would be huge and made of the finest ore from our mine. About trade. Here in Minoc, we have one of the largest mining operations in Britannia. A sawmill, an inn, the Artists Guild, and a shipwright. Well, tell us about the shipwright. I may have already mentioned Owen, the shipwright. He builds the finest ships that have ever set sail. Alright, sawmill. A long-standing and profitable business. A shame it would become more renowned for the murders that were committed there than for any of the fine work it does. And he doesn't say anything about the murder unless I already chose it and I forgot. The Artist Guild is a small collection of craftspeople who have huddled together to sell their little trinkets. They pride themselves on being the local dissenters of everything. Inn? The Checkered Court is famous for its rustic character and atmosphere. It is a fine place. Do not be put off by its apparent uncleanliness. Fellowship. They have done immeasurable good for Minoc, helping to counter the disunity that can plague a town such as ours, where so many people are fixated upon monetary gain. Thankfully, he doesn't spout off a philosophy. Be on thy way, then. Oh, okay, Jesus Christ. People in Britannia are rude, a little bit sometimes. Let's not step on... Who made this slop? It's funny how they just sit here and start helping themselves to whoever lives here. Did we talk to this guy, though? We did not. This must be the sawmill owner. You see a man with a very worried look on his face. Name? I'm called William, my lord. Job? I work in the sawmill here in Minoc. I was right. Sawmill. I take the logs that are made from all the trees that are cut down by the logger and you, and cut them into planks in the local sawmill. Then I sell the planks, mostly to Owen the shipwright, and some to the Artist Guild as well. Minoc? It was such a quiet town until these murders happened. I cannot believe it. What can you tell me about the murders? I found the bodies first thing this morning when I went to open the sawmill. It took all the discipline I have gained from the triad of inner strength and the teachings of the Fellowship to keep from going mad at the sight of it. It must have happened sometime last night, but I swear to thee I never heard a thing. Ah. Yeah, he was sleeping here when it happened, so they must have either already been dead or they're using some sort of magic spell to keep things, you know, quiet. I have been a member of the Fellowship for only a short time. I have only of late begun attending Eleanor's meetings. Only since they announced the monument was to be built. Wouldst thou like to know more of the Fellowship? Oh. Trust me, thou canst not possibly understand how cruel and terrible life can be. Thou dost need the Fellowship. These guys are more cultish than, you know, actual followers of a religion. I am lucky to have found it in time to face mine own moment of truth. I hope thou dost realize that thou dost need the Fellowship before it is too late. We chose that already. No, we didn't. Thou dost know. The monument of Owen the shipwright standing on the bow of a tall ship. Everyone in town doth know of it. Bye. As soon as he has dismissed you, the overwrought William hides his face in his hands. Yeah, this sucks to own a business and there's murders that happen in there. I think next time, lock the doors. And let's wander around Minoc for a little bit before ending this part. I was considering playing a little longer, but my throat really does get tired a little bit towards the end. I only had to take like 1 or 2 breaks this time, though. Same as last time. But there is something around here. Some people around here that I'm not going to talk. Is that Julia there? Hard to click on her when she's moving. Let's just not do anything. This is the Artist Guild. Let's walk in. Take a little look-see. Gladstone's workshop there. All the workplaces here. Pretty cool. Their bedrooms. Kind of a nice place. And entrances and exits everywhere. That's probably the mayor's house. I want to go up here, though. I want to do a little bit of exploration, because we did a lot of talking in this part. There's a lot of talking in this game. I try to do it when it makes sense. Ah, cat, how you doing? Psst, 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 psst. Here, kitty, kitty. I hate cats. Yes, you mentioned that a couple of parts ago. Shamino. Got some stuff here. This mine is abandoned, so it's not considered stealing. We have some torches. This is empty. That's empty. Just useless stuff there. Well, if we ever need crates, we know where to come to. Let's go over here. Don't think there's any enemies. So, as a kid, I actually cleaned up this cave a little bit and made it my little base. I put, like, chests and crates and stuff like that. Not going to do it for this part, though, but there is an area I want to situate as our resting area and storage area. And that will be evident, or that'll be revealed in a few parts from now. Let's go this way. Ah, spider. How about you? To the death. Ah, we got some stuff. We got a gold nugget. If you double click on it, Spark says, or anyone would say, at random, I believe that the current exchange rate is 10 crowns per nugget at the mint in Britain. I'm not making fun of those typos, by the way. I just like to point them out. Hey, there's a typo there. Look. Just like to draw attention to it. He's got the coif. He's got the coif. And everyone's got coifs. We don't need that. We'll give the Dupre can carry a lot. He's the strongest member in the team. So usually I give him the heavy stuff. Don't need anything else. There's a lot of caves in Britannia. There's a lot of dungeons to explore. They all have names, and those names will be revealed by a character in our party. I believe Yellow. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we got combat nearby. Who's that? We got trolls. How about you? Finally, some worthy opponents. Protect me! Arg! Vultures will pick thy bones. Victory! That wasn't too bad. Did we get any experience? Yellow's level 4. Spark got a little bit of experience. Shamino, no. Dupre is level 4. Nice. Usually I just bump up his strength in combat. Yana is still level 3. She's not going to get too much except from quests because her stats aren't very good, unfortunately, but she can heal, cure poison, so she's very, very helpful. I think we met almost every companion in the game so far. That troll had a chest on him. This one does too. We got some gold. Nice. Now, what stack do I have that's least? Here we go. I like to go ahead and always, like, you know, I always try to organize in a way where the least amount is in that corner there. Now this chest, you can either destroy it, break it open, or use lockpicks. You can double click this and do this, pick broke, or press P, which broke, which unlocked. So I'm probably going to go ahead and reload actually because I don't like wasting lockpicks. Let's try this again. Pick broke, there we go. Use up 1, and this one only had 3 gold coins. It's too bad. Put that back in the troll, that way it disappears when we leave. Got a backpack here? Ah, okay. If I didn't buy the backpack for Yana back in Trinsic, we could have got one for free. Got a gold nugget, some torches, and mutton. We're good on food for sure, aren't we? Got a miner who died in a cave-in, I guess, and we got a pickaxe here that we don't need. Let's go back out here. Do a little bit. I'm gonna explore this cave before ending this part. Some more gold nuggets. So far, that's 40 pieces of gold that we can exchange at the mint over in Britain. You can exchange gold nuggets as well as gold bars once we find those. There's gold bars in this game, and yes, there's also hidden pathways like that wall there. There's also hidden, like this could be hidden here. Not here, but some dungeons will have hidden walls that you can go through. And you only really find it if you literally hug the wall while exploring. Or just use a guide like I do. But I think I remembered most of the dungeons in this game. This is also here, this is a powder keg. You can use that to blow stuff up with. I'm going to give that to Dupre. Weighs 8 stones. Might want to use it for something just to show off what it does. Oh my goodness, those are Cyclopses. To the death! To arms! At you! They're not too bad. There we go. Not bad. They've got some stuff on them. They got gold nuggets. Well, this one has a gold nugget. This one has another gold nugget. You can't move these bodies. They're too heavy. This one has just piddly stuff. And this one has... meat. We will take the meat. I'm not sure how thievery works in this game. Because like I said, the mechanics in Exile are a bit different compared to the base game. remember in the base game, a long time I was a kid, I started eating out of a chest in a dungeon, and that counted as stealing, and Dupre left the party. This cave is rather short and easy. Ah, that's a headless creature. Thankfully, not as tough as the one in Underworld 2, which is an entirely different game made by different developers. Looking Glass, Blue Sky, whatever. I think they were called Looking Glass by that point. But the headless was a very powerful creature, and oh, careful there. Fire will hurt you. Beware of landslides. Nothing in here. Up. To the death. Trolls! How about you? If they ate a cat, they must definitely die. Now the hardest thing about combat is that if there's a fire nearby, you'll take damage and your characters sort of go all over the place. Let's go ahead and grab... I definitely take those pieces of gold. I would definitely take those. Give me that. Also take the beef. Which is... oh, that's cat meat, isn't it? I'm assuming that's cat meat there. I'm not going to take that. Forget that. I think that's what the intention is of the developers. They're cooking up a cat, and we just interrupted them. Let's see if I can pick these locks. You can destroy them with weapons, but I'd like to go ahead and try to... yeah, that one's unlocked. Nice. Also, pick this one. That's also unlocked. And I forgot to mention that the success of picking a lock depends on your dex right here. You have 18 dex, which is rather a bit below average. So, also max stats is 30 for most characters, for all characters. I don't want to mention any more because it's a spoiler in regards to stats. We got some stuff here for Yana though. Red cures poison. This makes you invisible, I think. No, that's a light. Actually, we don't need these, I don't think. Just yellow and red's fine. That's a ring of invisibility that I don't want. And we already have... we don't have gloves for some of our characters. I think I'll give this to... yeah, I'll give that to Spark. There you go. I want at least chainmail stuff for all characters before we go to the Isle of Fire. I think this part might be a little longer than usual because I want to explore this cave before ending it, which is no big deal. I can kind of do whatever I want. Ah, this right here is serpent venom. I'm going to take some. I'm going to give it to... I'll trust Yolo with it, I guess. He needs to carry some stuff. Serpent venom is important. If you use it, actually, I think it's better just to wait. Because we're going to get a description from the NPC later on. But it's actually kind of important for monetary purposes. Now this you can loot. There's nothing in it though. That's a corpse. Even a leg is a corpse. Go ahead and save and head back out. Avoid that because enemies respawn pretty fast. Headless is 4 this time. Oh, how at you. Die, fool. Thy blood will soil the land. Victory! Nice. Alright, let's move these bodies a little bit. Also getting a little hungry here in real life. Oh. Was there just... oh, okay. Can I grab this? There we go. I thought there was just 3. He has nothing. Nothing. Okay, we got some... we're gonna make some money. Vanquish monsters, earn experience, earn gold, as Jeffrey said. Take all this stuff. Go and save. You see how they respawn pretty quickly? Up. That is a magically locked door. Danger, do not enter. Well, we can't anyways. We don't have the unlocks magic scroll. But thankfully, we're level 4 now. We can cast level 4 magic up to level 4. I'm going to mark here. Cave north of Minoc. Oh, shift shift doesn't work for like parentheses and stuff. So I'm just gonna do dash cave north of Minoc. Magically locked door on western side of mine. Also, I'm gonna do that. There you go. That way I can remember to come back there if I want to explore it. But if you're playing the base game, you don't get an in-game journal. You have to write an actual journal in real life. Thy blood will soil the land. Take out these annoying things. Yeah, much easier than the, the headless in, Underworld 2. You know, the one Spoonie had a problem with. It's actually not a bad headless, as long as you have, points in the weapon skill. You should be able to take it out within, like, a few minutes if you're lucky. It may take a reload or two. But anyways, let's head back to... Where are we going? Let's head back over to the entrance of town. Back to the gypsies. We'll hang out with them, and then I can give my... Then I can just end this part, I guess. Let's actually heal up a little bit, because we are hurt. That dungeon was actually... That cave was actually not... We got some damage done on us. Let's heal... Who's hurt the most? I think I am. And that's it. She can't heal again, unfortunately, otherwise it'd be too overpowered. Goodbye, my lord. So we've been to Trinsic, Pause, Britain, Cove, and now Minoc. I think a little training will be done in the next part, and I think we're going to go to you afterwards.